friends, and welcome to Paper Bliss. This is where I'm going to be sharing with you how to create an easy card in 5 easy steps, as well as trying to use 5 products, okay? And most of us have everything in our stash. We're not counting our basic tools, okie dokie. So as we go through, I'll explain why I'm doing it and how I'm doing it. Now, I did have the first post on my blog last week, last Thursday I think it was, and there is a tutorial there and explaining the steps on what I took. So I have our kit. Now, in saying that, you can use whatever you have in your stash. It doesn't have to be what I'm using, okay? So we're going to grab our cardstock. So one of it, the supplies we need, is our base card. Now, where is my bone folder? Now, they're very easy cards, especially if you are a beginner, and some of us are beginners, and everyone's got to start from the start. And then we're going to bring in our paper, and we're going to they are the same size. I think I might leave it that size actually. We're going to glue this piece to a piece of basic white. So we're counting our paper. In this instance, I'm going to count our paper as one of the supplies. So we've got cardstock, we've got paper, and the cardstock, the base card, we're going to count that as part of our cardstock, okay? So that's 2 supplies. Now, I'm using paper. That doesn't mean to say that you have to use paper. You can create your own background. You can stencil your background. You can stamp your background to create it. Okie dokie. So that's done. Then I've got a couple of extra pieces. Now, in saying they're very simple, they are very simple. I create simple cards. I love probably pretty cards, but I love layers, okay? So we're going to add these 2 panels onto a piece of cardstock. So we're still only doing our 2 supplies out of the 5. And we're basically still on to probably step 2, because we're still playing with our paper and cardstock. I have to write these down so I don't get lost. You just usually do it. Okay, now this has got a bit of a pattern in it, and I want to match up these 2 focal points here, here and here. Well, not the focal points, but the patterns. Okay, so that's done. I'm going to trim a little bit of this off. I always like to make them a little bit wider when I'm cutting, slicing our papers, just to be on the safe side. You can always take away, but you can't add on. Well, you can by adding another layer. Now this piece we're going to put right here, right? and we're going to pop it up. You don't have to pop it up if you don't want to, and I did have here they are, and I've only got the small dimensionals, so we'll just see how we go. Now, all the details for this card will be on my blog, including a tutorial that you'll be able to download, and I will have a link below in the description for you to click on and create with. So just use what you have in your stash, because we've all got stuff in our stash. And we'll put 2 more on, maybe 3, honey. Because they're so, oops, because these are so small, I've probably overdone it. I tend to do that with when I'm popping things up. So we're just going to make sure this card is nice and straight. And we are going to pop this smack bang in the middle, as close as we can get. Although, you don't have to put it in the middle if you don't want to. There's nothing to say that it has to be in the middle. You can put it over to the side if you wanted to. Okay, so that is all our cardstock and papers done. Our next step is doing our focal point. A focal point is usually a stamped image, die cut image, punched shape, die cut shape, anything like that. Okie dokie. And I'm just thinking, just going to trim around this. Now I'm using Creative Cuts, and we're going to just arrange this and just tidying these up. Just arrange this how you would like it. So that could probably go there. I'm not going to see that bit at the bottom. That can go there. And then we're going to put Celebrate there, eh? Just like that. So we'll stick this down first. So this is step 4. I've gone from 2 to 4. So we're just adding our sentiment, just so I don't forget. So, whoops, a daisy. Funny how when you create cards, you just automatically do things. So we're going to pop this up again, So we're back to step 3, and we're going to add our focal point, eh? Now your focal point can be in the middle, it can be at the side, or it can be top or bottom. Build your focal point or build your card how you see fit. I'm just going to put one more. Okay, so we're going to put that there. I might put 2 under there because we've built this panel up. And this will give it a little bit more extra support. There you go. Okay, now we're going to put this piece on. Now this piece will have part dimensionals and part adhesive, okay? Now when I do this, I always sort of check as I go to sort of know where I'm going to place my dimensionals, or your foam dots or your tape, whatever you're using. And when I try it out, I don't press down, I just let it sit there, eh? And we're going to have 2 on here. Remember, this panel is already popped up. I'll bring it over a little bit, I think. Which means I don't want 2 on that, I only want 1. Then we're going to place glue all around the top. I'm just going to put 1 more here. There's not enough support there. Okay. I'm just making sure I line it up nice and straight, and that's done. Then we're going to put this here, okay? Again, we don't need anything down this side except for our adhesive, but we will put a couple of dimensionals on the left side, eh? So your focal point might be in a different position to where mine is, but that's okay. There you go. Look at that. It's coming together nicely. Then we are going to, we're still continuing with I don't know what I was going to say then. Gone. I'm just tidying these up because these are creative cuts or die cuts, and sometimes they do have a little bit poking out the sides. Okay, so these flowers, we'll put them on later, I think. Actually, yeah, we'll put those on later. We may not even use them. Okay, so we've done our focal point, we've done our sentiment. The next thing is we're going to embellish. Okie dokie. So I've got some embellishment here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5. Okay, now have I got, yeah. I think we might just have the smaller size. And that's all you need. You don't need to go overboard. If you've got smaller ones and say they're clear, you can use extras, but these pop out, so. And I'm not going to use those. And that is our card for today. 5 easy steps, and 5 products: cardstock, paper, die cuts or creative cuts, embellishment, and our sentiment. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Now don't forget, if you want the tutorial, click on the link below. Okay, thanks a lot. See you next time, eh? Hooray.